Welcome. Chris here with the trades. Going to go over 9 trades that I'm looking at for the week ahead. 9 tickers, 9 stocks, and I'm looking at for swing trades long. These are 9 stocks that meet my criteria for longs, for short-term gains, potentially even long-term holds, but are looking to trade here. So I'm looking for entries on these particular stocks that meet my criteria. Looking at the market here, SPY making all-time highs again here, breaking through, looking for a continuation, at least on the chart. It looks like we're still poised to move higher, although a pullback would be not surprising at this point since we're making all-time highs again. So SPY, the market looking strong. It's been looking strong for a while. Got to wonder how long it's going to last, but here we are. So first ticker on my list is none other than Tesla, TLSA, Tesla. Uh, Looking really great. It's come back down into price. It has found some support and bounced off that natural level of support in this green area here. Stochastic is nice and low with a crossover and a push up. Looking to definitely capitalize on this for the move back up. Tesla is one of my favorite stocks to own and to trade. Pretty much to buy and hold. But on a trade, for me, it's buy and hold. But on a trade, this is an entry point for me. So I'm looking to add to my position, looking to take advantage of a potential move back up on this one. I see where we open on Monday. The risk down to this level is nice, about 5 or so%. I'd be a buyer into this range, looking to see it move up into these levels here for 5% gain for this first profit taking up into highs as well, 10 or 11%, and see, I'll probably just hold some and see if we want to, keep going and keep moving on this one. So Tesla, first one on my list. Also on my list is Adobe. Adobe has come down in price for a while. It's found some support and bounced. Came back down again on Friday. Bounced again. I like this candle. It looks like it's poised to move up. I like to see it break through these moving averages, these 2 lines here for continuation. But we're going to see where we open on Monday. The stochastic is nice and low. It's going to come down into this range here. I'd be a buyer into at least down into here, into this range. It's pretty tight, 2 or 3%. I'd be a buyer looking for the move back up into this range here, 5 or so% for a profit taking up into these recent highs for sure. See if it wants to continue and move back up on Adobe. Also on my list is Kohl's. Kohl's is a stock that I've been looking to try to get involved with for a while. I like the way it moves. It does follow the rules a little bit here, at least in my mind. So we got this big move back up here at the end of the year, towards the end of the year, a big gap up and a jump. It's come back down. The question is, does it fill this gap? Okay, we also have this super large, massive candle up here. So it's finding some support up into this range. So I like this one. Plus, this stock and all the ones I'm going through, they meet my criteria for swing trades long. So first of all, they've got to be stocks that are good as far as fundamentals. They look good for long-term holds. That's the first criteria. The second step after establishing that it's something that I would want to be involved with for a long-term hold, I'm looking for an entry point, just a point to get in on this stock or this ticker, somewhere to get involved with it. Obviously, I'm not going to go chasing after a breakout or something like this because it tends to pull back down as it's done again here. So I'm looking for an entry. I'm looking for the stochastic to be nice and low. I'm looking for it to be in and above this green band, finding some natural level of support. So here on Monday, see where we open on Kohl's. I'll be a buyer into this range here, 7 or so%. Of course, if it breaks through there and confirms lower, it may just fill the gap. That's a 22, 23% range. Not going to hold through that. I just get out, reevaluate, and try to take it when it looks like a better setup, or just find a different stock to trade. But for now, this is coming into where I want to see it, into this support level. It's going to kind of be make or break on Monday, see where we open, see what we do. If it breaks through, probably not going to stick around much below this level here, below 1852, and be looking to capture the gains and then move back up, because if it does move, if coming up into this range here, it's 10, 12%, up into all-time highs, another 20, 21%. That is a good risk to reward for me. All right, so next on the list is Pump, PUMP, Petra Holding. Again, it's sort of the same thing. It's shot straight up. Does it fill this gap here or this gap here? A lot of gaps here. But at this point, the stochastic is low. It looks like it's curling to move back up. It's found some support here and here again on Friday and a push. So we'll see where we open on Monday, risk-wise, down into about this range here. Going to give it about 6.5%. If it breaks below that and confirms, probably going to fill the gap. I'm not going to hold down to there. That's 18, 20%. No way. But if it will continue to move up, I'll be looking to take profits up into this range here, 10 or 12%, up into these highs, 20%. Who knows if it wants to keep running? Probably hold a little to see if it wants to keep going from there. So PUMP also on the list is Ale Financial. Okay, so it's pushed up. It started to move in the right direction, finding some support here. I'd like to see it come down into this range here. There's a small little gap potentially that it might want to fill. That I'd be interested in seeing. Stochastic is coming down, so I'm going to give this a little bit of room. I'm going to be patient with it. I'd like to see where it opens on Monday, but if it comes down, I'm going to be a buyer down into this range here, probably down into this gap, really about 6 or so percent. Much below that, I'm probably not going to be interested in be wanting to get out. So I'm going to add in slow on this one, looking to see if we can capture the move back up into these highs. Also on the list, another big one here is JNJ. Been moving pretty much in a measured and reasonable pattern on the way up. It's still doing the same. At some point, of course, it's going to have to break this structure and break through this green band. But until then, I'd like to see it move down into this natural level of support here, 2.5% or so. Be a buyer, probably take it down into this range here, 4-5%. It breaks below that could be the signal that it's now breaking structure and wants to move back down. But until then, I'm going to be looking to see if it wants to pop down into these levels here for the move back up into these highs, into this range. So from here down to about 3 or 4%, looking for the move back up as well, about 5% or so. J&J doesn't move a lot like some of these, but it's pretty predictable. So I'm going to be interested in this, of course, see where we open on Monday. CMT, Core Molding Technologies. This one's all over the place. This one's pretty wild, but it bounced right off of this support in a super large candle, like a 5% move on Thursday. Friday, it's got a little bit of a pullback. Is it going to roll over and come back down? We never know. But for now, Stochastic is hanging around the bottom, pushed, come back down. Is it going to find the same support and bounce again from here? I'm going to be a buyer into about here, about 4.5%. Much below that, it's just going to keep being a little bit too wide for me to be involved with. But if it wants to turn around or just open on Monday and run up, I'd be happy to see it move up into this range here, 7 or so percent, up into these highs, even 12%. So good risk to reward on this one, on this strong stock that's got decent fundamentals. Also looking at CROX. It's been all over the place, but it's finding some support. It's looking like it's bottoming out here at this level. Stochastic is where I want to see it. It's looking like it wants to move up here on this chart. So we'll see where we end up on Monday here. I'd be a buyer into this range here, probably not much more than that, 5%. And we're looking to capture the move back up into these recent highs, of course, up into here, 7%. And it hasn't quite filled this gap, really. So, I mean, it depends where you want to put the gap here or up at highs right before dropping. But if it wants to move up and fill this gap, I'm looking to be involved with that. If it wants to do that, I'd like to be part of it. So looking to see if we can capture a nice 10% gain on this one. And finally, looking at FN. Okay, this one has been moving straight up, broke some structure, but regained and reclaimed that move back up again. Found some support, finding some support again. Friday and bouncing. Stochastic looking like it wants to bounce and move up. So does the chart on this strong stock fundamental wise. Looking at risk, see where we open on Monday, but from Friday's close, risk is pretty wide, about 10% down into this support level. I'd like to see it, maybe come down to about here and move up. Breaks above these moving averages, it's probably off to the races. Up into here is a mere 10%, up into even these highs, 17%. So this thing, if it wants to start moving again, it can start cooking. There's some potential gains here. I'd probably not want to hold it down at this level. This would be a pretty tough hold down to 17%. That is super wide. Probably not looking to be involved with things like that, but looking to see what happens on Monday. Yeah. Potential to move up. It looks good to me. So that's what I got for you. 9 tickers for the week ahead. Market's been wild, been moving straight up. So we'll see if momentum wants to continue. Happy trading.